All right, Brian Gandy back here again with Sustainable Terrains, checking out another light fixture from Thrive Agritech. This fixture is the Boost XE, and this was for a long time their like flagship Spectra. When I met the guys from Thrive back in like 2016, 2017, this was their one Spectrum, and the company I was working with at the time, we had a similar concept where you had a modular like 100-something watt bar, and then you could design it to whatever system you need, which fundamentally stands true. However, just at a commercial scale, it ends up being a lot of wiring, a lot of stuff. So we're looking at their other products, including their top light, their Strata, which is the vertical farming kind of fixture. So they've diversified their product portfolio and have, you know, more mobility for different applications. I still really like this fixture. It started a long time ago. When they first started, they had their own custom phosphors on their whites that were extremely high CRI, and these guys are still in that, have that ability, but they don't use those same chips anymore. Just from a cost standpoint, the cost of regular chips has come down and the quality's gotten much better. So this is a really nice fixture. Again, you could use it for overhead lighting if you set it up right. I think it's one of the better candidates for under canopy lighting, and they've come a long way with the waterproofing, cabling solutions. I'm gonna turn this off for a sec just because it's super bright. But you know, this is a really good option, I think, for under canopy and even some lighter above canopy veg or potentially even flower applications. They're about 120 watts each. So you could get the wattage density up pretty quick, and they have cabling solutions to tie them together. I am going to show you what I really like and I don't like about this for under canopy. The good news is they've got these connectors on both ends that can just slide into each other, and they've got pretty good waterproofing, and they flush up really nice and clean and just power on down the line. If you're at 120 volts, you could have 7 on one power supply. If you're at 277 volts, you could have up to 17 run off of one power supply. Now, the downside to this is that, especially if you were in an under canopy application, there's a potential for this to get jostled, moved, and they have a certain kind of clip. This clip, when it's installed, will actually hold the two bars butted against each other. So you could have these mounted on stands for your vertical farming or vertically like this. And you just need to make sure that the butt of the connection falls into this to lock them together. They've also got these mounting pieces that if you're using them for an under canopy application, the fixtures just sit right in them. Little capacitor in there, and actually the fixtures slide until you pop the locking clips into place. So it's a really neat design, I think. Again, a tool is only as good as you make it and apply it. So it's just something to be mindful of. I mentioned in another video for the Strata that these guys have really thorough cabling solutions. Everything's really nice quality connectors, and I like their controller. And I'm gonna turn this away from me and just show it full power, and we'll just ramp it up, and these things get really nice and bright at 2.8 micromoles per joule, 120 watts per bar. That's delivering quite a bit of light. So they have options for flush mounting or suspension mounting. I mentioned the connecting brackets. They have the interconnect capability either through this manual lock them together mode, or they also have the cables that can be used in between to daisy chain for like a top lit application, which is pretty nice. And the last thing to mention is just more, again, completely thought through hardware. These are waterproof caps to go on the end of the run. If you were going to use it for vertical or top, this will just keep you waterproof, keep everything tight. So This has been the Thrive Boost XE, a really cool modular solution from a company that I think is putting out really nice hardware and just a pleasure to work with. These guys are really good on getting the spec right for your project. They really kind of engineer to custom curtail the design to projects, excuse me. That, you know, that kind of customer service goes a long way. These guys have also been in business a long time, so that's a good sign that they're going to be around. You know, I preach that you want to work with a company that's going to be around if you ever have warranty or product issues. So if you're looking for under canopy or even light above canopy applications, I would definitely give the Thrive Boost XE a look. And the last thing too that I didn't mention that I'll highlight with some close-ups is this long-running optic. I used to call it like a linear collimating lens. It's really good at causing some diffusion. I might see if I can take a picture of it on the wall. You can see how it kind of gives it this like sunburst and diffuses the light so you don't end up with hotspots. That's unique to these guys. They've been doing that for a long time and they've stuck with it. I think it's a really nice design, especially if the efficacy is as high as they claim. And according to the DLC reporting, it seems to be validated in that. So Thrive Boost XE from Thrive Agritech. A solid solution, good company. If you have any questions about lighting, feel free to reach out to us about our Relamp and Relax program or just lighting questions in general. And as always, thank you for watching.